The man never imagined that just yelling on the train would get his clothes violently cut open by a guard. The guard then hung a death countdown around his neck and locked a steel ring onto his arm. Without hesitation, the guard opened a small window on the train and shoved Lake's arm outside. Lake instantly let out a piercing scream. But within 3 seconds, he suddenly went quiet. Outside, the temperature was minus 100 degrees. His arm had frozen solid in an instant, and the guard's giant hammer was already in position. When the countdown hit 0, Lake's arm was pulled back into the car. After confirming that his arm was completely frozen, the guard raised the hammer and smashed it down on Lake's arm. Yet despite what they were witnessing, the poor passengers didn't dare make a sound. Earth had entered a new ice age early. 99% of the population had frozen to death, and the remaining 1% had survived only by living inside this train that had been running non-stop for 17 years. Unfortunately, a strict class system formed on the train. The rich lived in the front in first-class luxury, partying every day. The poor were crammed into the filthy rear cars, surviving only on a disgusting black protein bar. Worse yet, the rich often took children from the poor cars, and if a poor passenger complained even a little, they were brutally punished. But oppression always leads to resistance, and the poor had finally reached their limit. One day, when the guards opened the door to hand out the nauseating black bars, Bruce, who had spent over a decade observing them, decided to take a risk. He suspected the guards' guns weren't loaded. To test his theory, Bruce pushed through the crowd and pointed the guard's gun at himself. Once they confirmed the guns were empty, the poor rushed forward, lifting a metal pole they had hidden beforehand and wedging it into the closing door. With the guards unable to fire, they were quickly overpowered, but one huge guard kept swinging a massive hammer, scaring everyone back. A young man couldn't take it anymore. He stripped off anything that restricted his movement, dashed forward, and drove a blade straight into the giant's heart. With Mark's lockpicking skills, the next door slowly opened, only to reveal an empty car. It was the first time in over a decade they'd seen the outside world, and the sight stunned them all. But there was no time to admire the view. They needed to push forward before more guards arrived. They opened the door to the next car, which was where the black protein bars were made. Bruce wanted to see how the food was produced, but the moment he looked, he froze in shock. The bars were made from ground-up cockroaches. Bruce was so furious he wanted to tear the rich apart on the spot. Anne suddenly sensed something and yelled for Mark not to open the next door, but it was too late. Mark had already unlocked it. A group of axe-wielding guards stared them down. Before anyone could react, one guard slid open a fish, coating his axe with blood to keep wounds from healing. Just as the poor prepared to fight, the guards slipped on night vision goggles. Before anyone could respond, the train shot into a pitch-black tunnel, turning the unarmed poor into helpless prey in the dark.